since my GMAT score, my 10, 12, my undergrad score, everything were at a baseline. So I didn't even think that I'll get an interview invite on the first place.
So I would like to again congratulate you for making it to such a prestigious program, PGP program of ISB. Okay, so let's start by understanding your academic and professional profile. If you can share about that.
So first of all, I would like to bust that myth. I'm not a very studious person. Like, I'm not a studious person, at least for first half of my academic life. And I have done BBA in my undergrad. And after that, I started working in Genpact. I worked there for 7 months, and then I joined Amazon. And I've been working here from last 17 months. So I did not even have a bare 2 years of work ex when I was there for the interview.
So, a BBA graduate with experience of working as associate with, consumer service and then the e-commerce companies. How did you plan or are planning to navigate your career, to become a program manager?
Actually, since I have worked with few of the program managers in my company. I have seen the kind of work that they do and the span of control that they have. And, they report to so many stakeholders. They negotiate with so many stakeholders. So I think I have listed down a few skill sets that you require for a program manager. And I have mapped it with ISB's curriculum on how I'll, take up those skills, how I'll, acquire those skills. So, once I'm sitting for a program manager interview in future or during the time of placements, I'll have that skill sets to convince the interviewers that, I'm suitable for the role.
Very good. Excellent work done. So essentially, you try to identify the academic gap, the industry knowledge and the skill sets which are required to become a program manager. And then you started working backwards for it. That's a very good strategy. And did you consider any other program when you decide to pursue your, degree in business? And why did you choose ISB for your MBA?
So since I've done a BBA, I think MBA is a very logical progression. And I always had this in mind that I have to do an MBA, I have to do an MBA. So very interesting story that when I was doing my undergrad from ISB Business School, it has an acronym of IBS.
Yes.
People profusely confuse with ISB.
Right.
Everyone in my family used to think that I'm doing BBA from ISB.
ISB.
And they don't even have a BBA curriculum, right? So,
yeah.
I got frustrated after, all these things. So I started looking up what ISB is and, so after a while, especially when you are staying in Hyderabad, you get to know that the level of respect ISB commands. So, it was with time, it was inculcated within me that ISB is somewhere that I want to go. And since I'm working at Amazon, it's like right besides, ISB is right beside my office. So every day when I used to come to office, I used to, see that college campus, it was something that kept me motivated. And I think being in Hyderabad is something which, inculcated something within me, like ISB hi jana hai, ISB hi jana hai karke. So I did appear for CAT a few times. I think, when we were graduating, everyone in my college, when we were doing BBA in last year, we all went for CAT, but I think none of us got calls, especially in 2019. So, after giving CAT and GMAT, I realized that GMAT is something that I think, GMAT gives someone who is not from a technical background a little advantage.
Yes.
That is what I think. So I think, things
Great.
worked out that way.
So that's how you got exposed to ISB, and that's how your interest generated about the PGP program. That's very nice. So having worked in industries like consumer service and e-commerce, and with such limited work experience, not to show so much, unlike people who come with 4 or 5 years of work experience, um, it must not have been an easy application to build. So what was your application strategy, and how long did you take to finish your application? And you did mention that you were earlier preparing for EEO, and then you realized that you fit for PGP. But overall, if you take put together both the things, how did it go?
Since I did not have much time for my application, I think my application was very raw. And in one of the interviews with ISBmantra, Kanan sir told me that your application is not suitable for PGP admissions at all. It was very raw. I had made many outrageous claims, like, working in this industry for 2 years. I know in and out of this industry, which is like top level outrageous claim. Like, working for 2 years, you cannot know in and out of the industry.
Yes.
So thank God that, these things weren't caught up in the interview. And I think I should have had, I didn't have time to, consult with ISBmantra and, have that kind of application, because I had only a week. So my application wasn't that great, wasn't that filtered or polished. But I think I had a very nice story to tell, which is something that hooked whoever shortlisted my application.
So it works that way. They most of the time the conviction is seen. Okay, if they know that you have put in your quality time into it, and you have shown your conviction and your preparation and your passion for the program, that is what they look for. Okay, and I think overall all that would have put together helped, of course, with your academic percentages and the GMAT scores, everything put together comprehensively would have helped them make the decision to call you in there.
Actually, since my GMAT score, my 10, 12s, my undergrad score, everything were at a baseline. So I didn't even think that I'll get an interview invite on the first place.
You went through several mock interviews and counseling sessions with all the experts at ISBmantra. So tell us about different sessions, how it helped you streamline your thought, and how did you see your approaches changing through these sessions which you did with the experts.
So first of all, I think initially I was taking ISB's interview not for granted, but I thought I'll be able to make it through without putting much of an effort. So that was like in my first mock interview, I realized that I need to level up and I need to prepare and work harder if I want to crack it. In my other mock interviews, I think I was able to develop that kind of confidence where I'll be able to, keep the panelists involved and, keep them engaged in my answers. I was able to frame and structure my answers in such a way that sounds very appealing and very professional. I think, I was able to understand that what are the things that you should say out loud, things that you need to highlight, things that, you should keep low, or how, you should answer in such a way that interview questions are moving into direction or moving into grounds where you are more confident. So, I think all the mock interviews was very helpful for me. And since I have only like 2 years of work ex, I had very blur career goals. And in my
Right.
counseling session, I was able to like, make it very clear, make it very, organized. I I don't think that if I did not have those counseling sessions, I would have that level of clarity and I would be able to answer their questions. And,
Mm.
like answering the question, I would, someone would still be able to do it after a little bit of preparation. But, the follow up questions which comes after that, you need to
Yes.
have a great deal of clarity for your career goals to be able to answer those questions.
Right. So, to continue this discussion further, Mayank, how was your experience interviewing with ISB, and what kind of questions did they ask? Considering your background and profile.
Actually, most of your questions will be from your application itself. Like for me, I think it was very casual. It was very nice. They will not get into, much of technical questions. Except for me, it was, a little bit related to my extracurricular activities and, things that I had mentioned in my application. Like for me, they started asking a few things in options contracts and future contracts because I had it mentioned in my application. Apart from that, there was no general knowledge question. There was no, technical question from my undergrad or something like that. Everything else was very casual, related to your career, related to your work experience, related to, what you're planning to do at ISB, how you'll manage things at ISB. So they just try to see, since all the panelists are, alumni from ISB, they just try to see if you'll be a fit candidate for, the cohort.
The
That's
cohort. Lovely, lovely. So now that you have an admit, are there any specific things you are planning to do before you join?
Actually, I did plan on doing so many things, but after having a chat with my seniors, I realized that, this was the time of my life and I should make the most out of it. So, once you are inside that, once you get into ISB, there are so many groups that you
Yes.
are part of. Like I'm already part of 2024 batch group where we have a meetup every other weekend.
Oh, so nice.
So we are
Okay.
already partying, we are already meeting up. So, you apart from your work, you won't really have much time. So I think, you should
Right.
enjoy and make the most out of it, because once you are in ISB, there is no way that you'll have, even a
Absolutely
little bit of
great,
job.
great planning, I would say. So they call it 52 weeks of roller coaster ride. This whole the PGP 1 year program. So the free time, whatever little free time you will get, Mayank, you will have to make a choice that do you go, hit your bed, or do you use that time to network, meet more people, mingle as much as possible there.
That's true.
Great. I know before
I
we
think
wrap up,
the only one thing that you need to get done before getting into ISB is get your loan sanctioned. That's it. Apart from that, just chill, have
yes,
a good time before ISB.
exactly. Even the careers after, post ISB, the kind of jobs you get in, they're also little demanding. So yes, this is whatever little free time you're getting now, make the most of it. Mayank, before we wrap up, what will be your advice to prospective applicants who come with a similar background and experience?
I think, if you have done a BBA, you'll definitely be. ISB evaluates every candidate in a different set of pools. Like if you have done a BBA, you'll be evaluated with someone with a similar background. And I think if you are from BBA, you'll definitely have an advantage. And if you are working in a company like Amazon as an associate, I think that also gives you a little bit of advantage. I won't say, it's a make or break kind of thing, but I think, but most of it, I think if you are planning to apply, just give it your best shot. Write an application in such a way which is appealing to them. I don't think much of anything else matters apart from these things.
I think one of a very crucial input, Mayank, which you have already given it to my earlier question asked, which is your preparation itself. You know that program manager is something you wanted to get into or become, and you started following program managers.
Yeah, you do need to have that level of clarity that what you want to do post ISB and how ISB is going to help you for that.
Yes. Okay, Mayank, again, congratulations and thank you so much for doing this for us. I'm sure it will go a very long way in advising other students, who come with a similar background.